I was at Starbucks earlier today, and I was waiting in line, and you know that they have those CDs that they advertise. And you know, it was pre-coffee, so I was a little bit groggy, and I looked down, and there's Lady Gaga blaring at me from the CD, and it's a picture of her looking totally machine-like, coming out of the wires of a motorcycle, and she's just ahead of her is there. She's like a fawn, except instead of having an animal behind her, it's the motorcycle. And I think that's kind of indicative of what she is and what she represents, this kind of machine-like, automated product of the pop culture that, for whatever reason, people are obsessed with. And this was, I think, even more so the case about a year ago, when you couldn't turn the TV on without seeing Lady Gaga. You couldn't, you know, go to a store without hearing her music. And what, you know, if you listen carefully to what her music was saying, it was completely deviant, and specifically sexually deviant. You know, talking about how she likes rough sex, and how, you know, her music videos, people and herself were sex slaves, and you know, it was rape-like almost, and all these other negative things, and yet she had such a fan base. And so I was wondering, why was that? Why was that the case? How could someone who, you know, is promoting so many kind of negative, violent images be so popular among the youth in the popular culture? And at that time, Naomi came to me and told me about this really exciting project. And so I started thinking about it a little bit more, and I realized that what it was that Lady Gaga had completely, she was defining creativity in a way that completely played off of what people my age and younger wanted to hear. She was anti-authority. Everything about her, if you asked her fans, was new and fresh and creative. You know, when I talked to people in the process of writing this who loved her, and I said, okay, what is it about her? They said, oh, she's the one and only. There's nobody like her out there. There's, you know, she's completely, she's changing pop music. She is pop music. After her, there is nothing. One article in the Atlantic Monthly said, after Gaga, the void, which was kind of melodramatic, I guess. So as I was trying to understand what her relationship to creativity was, I looked back to the, you know, and started at the beginning of Western civilization to see, well, what was creativity then? How was it defined? How has it changed through the years? And in the beginning, you know, if you read what Plato said about it, creativity was, it was defined in terms of divinity. Only God could be creative. People didn't create, they were craftsmen. They put things together, but only God had creative power. And through the years, that definition changed, and, you know, with the Renaissance and Romanticism, you had the individual as the kind of creative loner. And then in the 60s, when everything changed, creativity was defined as being anti-authority and, you know, trying to be new. You had to kind of beat the person or the, you know, pop star that came before you in terms of being new. And I think that Lady Gaga has, you know, she's a savvy businesswoman who's figured out how to do that while kind of playing into who her fan base is. Her fan base is, you know, largely either gay or they're gay sympathizers. And so she is a woman who dresses like a transvestite man. And, you know, she has a song called Born This Way, which is essentially a gay anthem. You know, I'm gay because I was born this way. And you know, and there are other examples too, which maybe I can get to when we're doing the Q&A. But, you know, as I approached this essay, I was curious about, okay, why does Lady Gaga, you know, attract such a fan base? And why was I myself fascinated by her, even though I knew that she wasn't upholding the most savory cultural norms? And when I concluded that the reason is because she's deviant in her definition and her portrayal of what it is to be a creative artist.